content. And speaking of content, let's get into some more of it. So here's what I got for y'all. The reviews are out. The reviews are out for Stellar Yams, Stellar BBL. I seen somebody cleverly spell Stellar Blade, but they added an extra B to Blade, so it spells BBL. That was pretty clever. I was like, okay. The reviews are out for Stellar Blade. And once again, I think the chat needs to clout me up, because people are saying, what do you think the game's gonna do? I said, based off the demo that I played, I was like, I like the game, but I see some issues. Based off what I played, it feels like an 8. I could be wrong, because the full game might be better. It might be worse. But based off what I played, I predict an 8. And based off these scores, the current Metacritic is an 83 overall. We got some 9s, some 8s, some 7s, 4.5s, which is a 8 and some change. A solid PlayStation exclusive, a solid action adventure game with some problems, but overall, it came to do a job and it gets the job done for the most part. And I'm cool with that. It looks like a pretty linear action game, and that's all the fuck I wanted to play. So another Sony game gets a good review. Hopefully you PlayStation niggas will get out there and buy it, because statistics say you don't. But let's talk about what's the real, which by the way, it drops Friday. We will be streaming it Friday when it drops. Let's talk about the real hardest hitting story of the day. It involves Stellar Blade. Currently trending on Twitter is the hard R. Now, if you've seen the hard R trending on Twitter, you might be thinking, what does that mean? Especially if you're a person of color, a black person specifically. Like, what the hell? Who's being racist? Well, it turns out there was something that happened. See, in the midst of all the reviews for Stellar Blade dropping, I guess someone who was playing the game early found this painting, this graffiti on the wall, and it spells hard, like Diddy. And it's next to the R shop, so people thought maybe, well, not people, a journalist posted an article insinuating that they were trying to be racist or whatever. But the issue is, for those who've played the game, apparently hard is sprayed all throughout the game, and it ended up next to the R shop in the game, which is what it's called, the R shop. So it looks a certain type of way. So some people are crying racism and da-da-da-da. I thought it was fucking funny. I don't see what the big deal is. And the developers came out and they acknowledged it was just an honest mistake. They're from Korea, and like I agree. They already patched this shit out. It's not in the game anymore. You said folks are crying over nothing. Yeah, you know what? I told you, ever since money got involved on Twitter, ever since you can make money from tweets, people are impression farming. There's no way anybody took this fucking seriously. But just as a show of sign to show that they genuinely it was like an honest mistake, they patched it. This is out of the game. So when it comes out on Friday, you will not see this. No biggie to me. I thought it was fucking funny. I wouldn't even be mad if they kept it in the game. I thought the shit was fucking funny. Siggy in the group chat, he brought up something funny. I think he tweeted it too. He's like, it's funny how like fucking fake mad people are. Because if this same thing was in Grand Theft Auto 6 or Grand Theft Auto 5, people would say, oh, it's comedy, or it's like, it's satirical or whatever. Like, I kind of agree. Like, people like to pick and choose what the fuck they want to be mad about. Was the journalist black? I don't know. I don't know what the journalist was. So like, that's the big story of why hard R is trending on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. And then what else happened? But oh yeah, they removed it. Yeah, they already removed it. Purely unintentional. They released a statement. The placement of the two graphics near each other in Stellar Blade resulted in an unintentional objectionable phrase shift up and no intention of creating offensive artwork, and will be replacing the graffiti on the day 1 patch. You said, watch what happens. What you mean? What you mean? They think they're gonna like do it in like South Park? I feel like there was something else. Oh, but the funniest thing to come out of the Stellar Blade drama today to me was this guy right here. Silent Cypher went on to tweet, the narrative sure has changed quite a bit regarding a game getting an 83 overall Metacritic. So, and this guy is upset because people are enjoying the game more than they're enjoying Starfield. We got a console warrior alert. So we're going to end the Stellar Blade news on some console warrior talk. PlayStation niggas have been getting worked the past week or two. Xbox niggas, it's your turn. Yo, be quiet. Shut up, dog. I replied to this tweet and I feel like there's no, he didn't respond. Like there's really no response to this shit. Hold up. This nigga's mad because it got an 83 and people love it. Which, by the way, This 83 and this 83 is not the, this is not the player score. This is the critic score. The critics gave it 83. What did the play? I don't think it has an 83 Metacritic Starfield. I'm willing to bet it's probably in the 60s, probably. If we go to the player score. God damn, I'm right as fuck. The player score, based on 11,000 reviews, is a 6.9. So this 83 is based off of 90 different websites, you know, professional journalists. That's what they thought. But players don't really like the game. That's no secret if you go on the internet. So first and foremost, your argument is disingenuous. There's not even any player reviews for Stellar Blade at the time of this recording or this stream, because the game hasn't came out to the general public. So comparing these scores, you're conflating shit. It's not a fair argument. But even still, I can dismantle your entire argument with my response. Where did I put it at? Okay. So then I went ahead and I responded. I was just like, this is revisionist history. Blame Microsoft. The Xbox team said Starfield would be the most important RPG ever. You set those expectations, you better meet the bar. And this is true. Microsoft and Bethesda were running around for like 2-3 years saying Starfield is going to be the game of the generation. It's not a lot of exclusives on Xbox, so when the game came out, it better stick its landing, and it didn't. So when you set the bar that high, people are going to have higher expectations. So two things can be rated at 83 and be something completely different versus Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade actually did the polar opposite. Stellar Blade ain't really been doing a lot of talking. Honestly, when the game first got announced, nobody was talking about it for like a year and a half after it got announced. Nobody started talking about Stellar Blade again until they dropped the demo. They let the gameplay speak for itself. People like the game. They like some other stuff too. But for the most part, people like the game. And the people decided this is a good game. Microsoft and Bethesda tried to tell us this is going to be not only a good game, but a game that's going to, like, who remember? Okay, I put this clip. I put this because I feel like niggas forget. This is what I be talking about. This is a new genre of internet niggas, revisionist history. Listen to this shit. This is why Starfield got panned.
The Xbox Game Showcase, followed by a deep dive into one of the most important RPGs ever made.
One of the most important RPGs ever made. Not, hey, check this game out. We think it's going to be good. Then I feel like you would have a fair argument. But one of the most important RPGs ever made, nigga, this is not The Legend of Dragoon. This is not Final Fantasy VII. This is not Mass Effect. We're talking about Starfield. You know, the funny part is too, for the most part, people were like agreeing with me. Yeah, when you set yourself up for failure, that's what's gonna happen. Who gave this terrible take? Somebody replied to it. No. Did he delete the tweet? Oh, I think he deleted the tweet. Damn, you're lucky. I was gonna get your ass, bro. It was somebody saying that I was moving the goalpost. I'm like, who moving the goalpost? What the fuck are you talking about? You're just wrong. Anyways, yo, shout out to Prodigy Sage with the sub. Appreciate it. I guess he was upset I didn't respond because he deleted the tweet. The tweet, what Drake say? The tweeters and deleters. Yo, niggas, these niggas at Microsoft said this shit was gonna be the game of the generation. This is the first. Remember, they said this is the first time we're launching a new IP on an engine that we've been working on for like 20 years. I'm sorry, there's nothing in Starfield that looked like they had been working on it for 20 years. It looked like the engine that Starfield runs on, it looks like the same engine Fallout 4 ran on. They just turned the graphics up a little bit, and not even a lot of it, a little bit. And yeah, I said a lot of it, nigga. They turned it up a little bit. Talking about, we've been working on this engine for 20 years. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's why that shit got panned. Don't set this is why it's important, kind of going back to the video that I made like a couple weeks ago. More than ever, it's time to bring back game demos. And we should bring back game demos. Every game should have a demo for the opposite reason demos used to exist in the first place. Demos were a thing when I was a kid because gaming wasn't as big. There wasn't as much money to be made. So you had to put a demo out for your game because gaming was still considered a kid's thing. So the pool to make money was smaller because Gen X wasn't really playing games like that. So you had to put a demo out to give people a little sample size to upsell the game. Demos went away when gaming became more mainstream, but now they're coming back around and they need to come back for the opposite end of the spectrum. Now we have too many options. And not only do we have too many options in terms of games are coming out every day on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Ouya. Now we have too many options. So the demo needs to come back because with inflation through the roof and the value of a dollar or wherever you're from, because inflation is through the roof across in the world, across like pretty much every country. Everybody's currency is fucking down, bro. People are poor. They're poor, okay? So if we have more choice than ever and a limited amount of money, it's time to put out demos. If you don't have nothing to hide, it shouldn't be a problem. It should not be a fucking problem. But, you know, revisionist history, like I said, revisionist history, Fallout 76. Niggas talking about, oh, it's not that bad of a game. It was never a bad game. It's still a bad game. Please stop, bro. Low key, we might reach ET level game crash. So yeah, respectfully, you're wrong. What else we got? That's Stellar Blade news I got for ya. Oh, other review. I feel like in the midst of all the hard R drama, this got lost in translation. The reviews for Sandland dropped. For those unaware, Sandland is the last game from Akira Toriyama, RIP, the creator of Dragon Ball, as well as Dragon Quest and some other stuff. He has a new manga and the anime is coming soon, I believe. It's called Sandland, and there's a game to complement it. And the reviews, they're okay. The overall Metacritic is a 74. Once again, clout me up because I played the demo. And what did I say about the demo? I said, you know, this is all right, but I feel like this is a game I would get when it's on sale if there's nothing else to play. It felt like a 7 out of 10. I thought best case scenario, this game would get an 8. But based off that demo I played, it felt like a 7. Yo, shout out to Big Mop. Kudos for them for actually creating an anime game that's not a fucking arena fighter. But reviews are saying it's all right. It's a decent game. I don't know if this is a day one cop. The anime's out already. Oh, my fault. I stand corrected. Did you see the Sandland trailer with Darude Sandstorm? Yeah, I seen it. That shit was fire. So yeah, if you're looking for another RPG game to pick up, no, maybe Sandland is for you. The reviews are all right. Need a funny TBH video about video game scores now. Niggas never gonna clout me up. What else I got for y'all? Oh, I seen this on the timeline. Take this with a super, super duper grain of salt. But according to Screen Time, an adaptation of Kingdom Hearts is reportedly in the works at Disney. It's currently unclear whether it's for film or TV, and it's also not specified if this adaptation will be animation or if it'll be live action. Hopefully it's animation. I feel like Kingdom Hearts would work better as an animated series, whether it's TV or a movie. Live action, I'm not really trying to hear no grown men talk about Heartless and King Mickey and Sora and Donald and Riku. Fucking Sora and Riku are literally Naruto and Sasuke. This nigga Sora just be running across. The only difference is Naruto ran across the whole land of fire trying to win the heart back of Sasuke. This nigga Sora runs across the world of Disney, the dimensions of Disney. This nigga runs from Toy Story to Tarzan to Frozen to the Lion King to win back the heart of Riku. It's the same shit. You said you ain't lying, but it makes even less sense. So I hope this is not a live action adaptation. If this rumor is true, if we're gonna act like it's true, because I just don't see this translating well to live action, especially with the art design and the characters. I think it would just look way too kookily. Some things should remain animated. Who y'all want to see? If this, let's act like this is real. Who y'all think should voice act Sora? I can play Mickey. You bitch ass nigga's gonna kill some Heartless tonight. Oh shit. Sora, don't you back talk me, Sora. You can suck my dick. The rumor's been out since Disney Plus was first announced. I think the most interesting thing about a potential adaptation of Kingdom Hearts is, like I said, in my opinion, I feel like the reason most people love Kingdom Hearts, it's the Disney and the Final Fantasy aspect of things. You just never know what world you're going to end up in. And to a lot of people, that's really cool. To me, it's a gimmick that kind of gets tired, especially when you look at the rest of the gameplay mechanics. As a Kingdom Hearts 1's camera was ass to me. Kingdom Hearts 3 was way too simple and boring. It got boring after like the second mission to me. I've always felt like the story was the weakest aspect of Kingdom Hearts, and people, what about Kingdom Hearts 2? Kingdom Hearts 2, no, Kingdom Hearts 2, the classic. I will give y'all that. I will give you Kingdom Hearts 2, but there's like 15 different fucking games, okay? And if you put it all together, none of that shit makes sense. So, I mean, I know personally, I know hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans that can't tell me what the fuck the game's about. So how's that going to translate to television or a movie? Like, imagine, because what's the entire purpose of making either an animated or a live action adaptation is you want to make money. You want to appeal to the masses, the normies, as internet niggas like to say, right? Well, imagine sitting in a movie theater with your aunties and your uncles. They don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts. It's live action. This nigga's fighting Sephiroth. Cerberus Hercules. Next thing you know, fucking Mickey Mouse is riding on the back of Buzz Lightyear. Is Sora searching for Rico? Like I could see this being so fucking confusing for like the masses. So like I think in order to adapt this into a TV show or a film, they're really gonna have to clean up the script. They're gonna have to like make some changes, because niggas, like regular everyday people that work 9 to 5s and don't have time to watch 700 episodes of anime a week, niggas is not trying to hear, oh, you need to play Birth by Sleep 35 on the Nintendo 2DS to understand why Mickey Mouse is taking back shots from Sephiroth. I don't know. Niggas is not trying to hear that. They're not. And I'm gonna be honest, I respect it, because I'm not trying to hear it. We'll see though. I'll take it all with a grain of salt. Take it all with a grain of salt. It's gonna be a TD adaptation. Take it all with a grain of salt. The mobile games have added even more lore, so it's hella confusing. Bullshit. Atari revives Info Games. Man, I feel like a news article comes out every year about Atari's coming back, man. They need to die. Bruh, nobody care about no damn Atari shit, bruh. Niggas want to play Pitfall HD? Somebody linked the article in the chat about Sauce linked the article about fucking Atari again. I swear we're coming out with a new console, guys. Wait, did they make one? They made a Pitfall HD? Like y'all wanna play Pitfall in 4K? Y'all wanna play this? This was the original Nathan Drake. This was the original, guys. Y'all wanna play that shit? I'm good off Atari. ET HD. I'm good. What else I got for y'all? Yeah, plus ray tracing. Valve updates their Steam refund policy to include advanced access. I don't know what this means. Let's read along. All I do know is, for those of you unaware who are not into PC gaming, you can get a refund. Another reason why PC gaming is great. You can get a refund on any game that you buy, no questions asked. I've refunded a ton of games on stream. I've literally bought games for shits and giggles on stream. Said I bought the game for shits and giggles on stream, and I always get the refund. And the rule is, as long as you don't play the game for more than 2 hours, you can get a refund on Steam, no questions asked. So if you want to try the game out for like an hour, yeah, I literally, if you're new to my content, I literally beat, because in the reviews it said Bluey the video game is less than 2 hours. I literally beat Bluey the video game in like an hour and 15 minutes, and I refunded it, played the whole game. They do not ask. That's one of the benefits. That is one of the benefits of PC gaming. Demos technically exist on PC because you can just play the game for like an hour. If you don't like it, refund it. Shout out to Dolphin with the sub. Appreciate it. Let's see. I guess they updated their policy though. Valve has announced updates to its Steam refund policy to address pre-ordered games and advanced access. Moving forward, gameplay during any advanced access period will count towards the playtime threshold for refunds on the platform. What does that mean? Prior to this update, only playtime accrued after any sort of official release would count towards the 2-hour limit for refunds on the platform. That is no longer the case. Advanced access is a feature that allows users that have pre-purchased a game to play prior to the game's official release. Oh, I get it. That's fair. I'm not mad at this. So basically what it's saying is that $130 edition of Star Wars Outlaws, or what's the name recently just did it? Suicide Squad. If you bought the deluxe edition of Suicide Squad, you were able to play the game 3 days early. So if you start playing the game 3 days early, that counts towards your 2 hours. So I didn't even know this. Damn, I wish I would have knew this shit. Hold up, do you know what this means? So just to explain it, that means if you buy the deluxe edition and get early access, as soon as you start playing it, your 2 hours counts, so refund it if you don't like it. But what this means is, yo, some people was gatekeeping out there. That means there were people out there buying the deluxe edition, playing it early, and then refunding it. And wait, they were playing the game early, getting as many hours as they could on it. Niggas played like 10, 15 hours, and then waited till the day of release, played for 2 more hours, and could have got a refund. Y'all didn't tell me this shit? That's crazy. We could have finessed the system. Who was gatekeeping this shit? Yeah, that shit mad smart. We need the gift of the black dude. That's different. They getting rid of this shit though. They said, oh, we done figured you niggas out, bro. I think this is funny too. Yeah, 500 IQ play. This is funny because how long is the Steam? Let's see. Steam introduces. I bet we could let's ask Grok. When did Steam introduce their refund policy? Or should we say what year? What year did? Give me an answer. Give me an answer. Give me an answer. What's up, Keith? 2015? Is that accurate? What the fuck? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's been almost 10 years. That's got to be inaccurate. I got to ask Google. When did Steam introduce their refund policy? That sounds close to being. It was 2015. Grok is right. Shout out to AI. Niggas has been finessing for almost 10 years. And y'all didn't tell me. This is crazy. This is fucking. Oh, my bad. Yeah, 11. My bad. This is fucking crazy, bro. This is fucking crazy. Wish I would have known, man. I can't. All I can say is. What the fuck? Exactly, Tails. Yo, that fucking that fucking with this money, I can now ditch the that notification was fucking great. That timing. What the fuck? That's exactly how I feel, Tails. All I can say is, don't hate the player, hate the game. I gotta salute the niggas that was finessing, bruh. That makes PC gaming even better, bruh. That makes PC gaming even better, because sometimes maybe 2 hours ain't enough to decide whether or not you like a game. Niggas was putting 6 hours on a game and refunding that shit. That's great, bruh. That's fucking great. That's content right there. That being said, it sucks that they're changing this, but I understand. It's fair. It's fair. I can't be mad at this. I can't be mad at this. Who did the buy alerts? I got the actual voice actor for Tails. I know him. Next piece of news I got for you is No Rest for the Wicked developers defend early access. Says Dark Souls would have benefited from this. What the fuck? So for those unaware, No Rest from the Wicked is the new Souls-like game from the developers of Ori and the Blind Forest. It's a top-down Souls-like game. It's currently in early access on PC exclusively. I think it's going to come to console eventually when the game is done. But it's there for early access for those who wanted to try it out and like give feedback. I ended up getting a free code for this game and I played it. And I like the game. I do like the game. I see the potential. I'm excited to see the full release. But I had to uninstall it because like early access, it's unoptimized as fuck. I got to the boss fight and y'all saw my frame rate was just dropping like a motherfucker. And if you Google and you research, a lot of people are complaining about the performance of the game. But you know, that's the reason I didn't even like spaz on the game, because this is a real early access game. And I got it for free, so it wouldn't be fair to judge it as a full game. So I was like, I'll come back to it when the game is done and it's optimized. But I guess they're getting a lot of negative feedback and they felt the need to comment on it. I guess a lot of people don't understand what a real early access is. And you can't blame the general public for not understanding, because once again, games like Call of Duty and other games put out these betas 2 weeks before the game comes out and it runs perfectly fine. And I keep trying to tell y'all that's not a beta, that's a demo. They're just trying to finesse you into pre-ordering the game to inflate their numbers. This is a real beta. Let's see what they got to say though. Moon Studios CEO has defended the studio's decision to launch its latest game, No Rest for the Wicked, in early access. The dark fantasy game launched last week, but was criticized by players for its poor performance, exactly, which Moon Studios pledged to improve, of course. In a lengthy statement on social media's X, Twitter, the CEO discussed the benefits of an early access launch and said he's confident more games will be released in the future. I never would have imagined that after years of playing Souls series that would be tired of the franchise. You're tired of it? We're not even a week into early access, and it's already been pretty clear that going with early access is one of the best decisions we could have ever made. He began before noting some players are irked by the game's release date. I think as games become more and more complex and sophisticated, we'll see some form of early access happening more and more often, he said. Speaking from our own experience, there's just no way we could ever have shipped Wicked 1.0 without being able to see all the data we're seeing now and getting all the feedback from players, and I mean actual users, not a focus test group. Even if we'd had 2 or 3 times the staff, it would have been quite simply impossible. The product is just way too complex of a beast to reasonably expect that. 9 women can't make a baby in a... Wait, 9 women can't make a baby in a month and all that? That was a random statement. The CEO went on to suggest Dark Souls would have benefited from an early access launch had that been available from Software. Imagine Dark Souls 1 would have been in early access. Instead of From Software rushing to ship a box product in a somewhat unfinished state, they probably would have been able to look at the second half of the game and still fully form and polish a less polished area like Lost... I don't know how to pronounce that shit. He also said in sorts of amendments for early access allows would not be possible with DLC or updates. Shipping games is always incredibly difficult and stressful, and most of the time it means making quite drastic compromises, especially if your product is trying to accomplish something new, he said. And if you don't know that it's okay to bring in certain features and scopes after the fact, you'll end up cutting before you hit the market. I want to comment on this, actually. I don't like this quote. And I like the game. I like the game, dude. I think it's going to be a good game when it's finished. But I don't feel like you had to throw Dark Souls under the bus to do that. Because first and foremost, people love Dark Souls 1. 2, this statement it's tone deaf because not only did you throw shade at them for no reason, like you literally threw it at them for no fucking reason. Like this is where I mean, like, yo, people need PR training. The quote should have been, early access has been great for us because it's been able to help us fund the project that we were struggling to fund, but also we're getting tons of feedback that we would have never gotten from a small focus test, which in turn is going to help us build a better game. That's all they had to fucking say. Basically, this first paragraph. But then you went and threw them under the bus, and this statement is stupid because Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, they're all successful games. So what was the point of even saying that shit? I mean, I agree with the Dark Souls 1 quote. An entire area had poor performance. Even if it's true, even if it's rooted in truth, there was no reason for it. Because it looks a certain type of way. It's one of those things, it's like you have to outweigh the risk to the benefits. There's no benefit really to him saying this. But I get what you're saying. So even if you dislike the idea of early access, it's one way to allow developers to truly perfect a product over time. So please try to understand that there's value in that. In a follow-up post, the CEO stated PlayStation and Nintendo need to embrace early access. PlayStation, sure, because their platform's powerful enough. I'm not gonna lie. Nintendo, I don't know. Let's wait for the Switch 2 to come out before we talk about early access for Nintendo games. Early access would have not helped Tears of the 720p. That shit was gonna run at 15 frames regardless. But Nintendo niggas love it. You can't tell them nothing. They love their 20 frames and Luigi ads. The Nintendo just needs more powerful hardware. That's their issue. The industry is just changing at a rapid pace, and holding on to things that were from the norm 5 to 10 years ago is too restrictive, he said. Ultimately, people just want to play great games. It shouldn't matter how the game was developed, just that it was, and if players can't play some great experiences on your platform, you're doing your audience a disservice. Plenty of high-profile games are launching. Okay, he's just starting on the shit. Yeah, like, yeah, he just didn't have to throw Dark Souls under the bus. It was unnecessary. Hopefully this doesn't bring them like bad PR, because I do genuinely think this is a good game that has a lot of potential. Very interesting take on the Souls formula. But I'm gonna wait. Is there a roadmap for this game? Like, is it gonna be done in 6 months, like a year? Did they say? Because I'd rather just wait till the fucking game is finished. I I hear you, but 7 Days to Die been in EA since 2013. Wait, what? He's just letting the comments get to him. He knows it's early access. Just say we are working on it. That's what I'm saying. It feels like, yeah, he wasn't expecting, especially because he's coming off, this studio is coming off Ori and the Blind Forest. And then what was the second one called? The Wisp of the Willows or some shit? Both Ori games were like critically acclaimed. So I would imagine it's pretty hard for your ego to hear people shit on your game. But like, if that's one of those things where I tell you, if you want to get into any form of business, you got to remove your ego. And don't listen to how things are being said, but listen to actually what's being said, because I haven't heard anybody call this game trash. Everybody is saying this game is good. People are just saying they wish it ran better, and that's okay. In my opinion, if I could have consulted them, I would have said, because from my understanding, there are 3 large areas in the early access that you can play. They should have launched early access with one area and like one big boss fight. And they should have optimized that. And then, you know, patch the rest of the stuff in later with the roadmap. I think they put out too much too soon, and they didn't focus on the optimization, or 2 areas. Maybe they would have been able to handle 2 areas. I think they put out a little bit too much content, and they didn't focus enough on the optimization. At the very least, that's facts. I've heard the game is, yeah, like nobody's saying the game is ass. Like we just want it to run well. At the end of the day, even if it's early access, I know it's illogical to some degree, but you got to understand, people are poor. People paid for this shit. They want something to work to some degree. Because I think the thing is, when people hear early access, I think a lot of people interpret that in a lot of different ways. My brain interpreted that as like, I knew what I was getting into. Like there's a chance this might be unoptimized. But some people hear early access and they hear early access to the game, and what's there works. So maybe I think they need to work on the messaging. Help people understand like, yo, what you're buying is a really unfinished, unoptimized product. A lot of devs currently behind the early access tag. Yeah, a lot of fraudulent finished games. Didn't go back to watch you for real. What do you think makes it stand out as a Souls-like besides it being top down? Well, the story, there's a cohesive story, the really good voice acting. It's actually really interesting. The crafting system, that's an interesting take on things as too. It's like little things. It's just like little things. Could they have called it like a stress test? Nah, because it's not multiplayer. I think like for these early access games, maybe put it on the Steam page. Maybe list on the Steam page known issues and like put at the top in red. Current state has known performance issues or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting.